Hello dear students, a very good morning to all of you. Welcome to Infinity Learn channel by Sri Chaitanya. Hope you all are doing fine. So this is Dr. Priyanka and again I am in front of you with an amazing session in which we will be discussing 50 questions, 50 important questions from the whole of zoology. Hope you all are ready for today's class. So are you all ready? Tell me in the chat fast. Please share this session with your friends, ask your friends to join as well and we will start our session soon. सारे ही important questions होंगे आज के सेशन में. ये सेशन अटेंड कर लिया तो 50 क्वेश्चंस आपके zoology के सारे चैप्टर से पक्के हैं, राइट? सो फटाफट ज्वाइन कर लो. डोंट फॉरगेट टू लाइक एंड शेयर दिस सेशन. ओके एंड सब्सक्राइब इन्फिनिटी लर्न नीट चैनल. अगर आपने अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो फटाफट से ज्वाइन कर लो बच्चों. बहुत ही जल्दी हम लोग स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं हमारा अमेजिंग सेशन. ओके सो देखते हैं क्या है पहला क्वेश्चन. बट बिफोर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन डोंट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब इन्फिनिटी लर्न नीट चैनल. बेल आइकन भी प्रेस कर देना फॉर ऑल द नोटिफिकेशंस. बहुत सारे अमेजिंग सेशंस आपके लिए आगे भी आने वाले हैं नीट से पहले. ओके सो ऑल दीज सेशंस विल हेल्प यू अ लॉट फॉर इम्प्रूविंग योर मार्क्स इन एग्जाम. ओके so चलिए देखते हैं what is the first question. So first question on your screen is this one. Which of the following type of graft is used in plastic surgery? Right? Now graft से related हम सारे discussion कर लेंगे. In plastic surgery which graft is used? Skin graft is used, right? So we use skin graft. Graft, which graft? Skin graft, right? And this skin graft is usually taken from the same individual itself. Okay, same individual से ही skin graft लेके and this graft is used. So this type of graft is known as autograft. Why I am discussing this question? Because you will miss this type of question for NEET, but this is asked in previous exams, right? So this is going to be an important question. So let's see this graft in skin graft, and since it is taken from the same individual, this is known as autograft. So the correct option for this question will be option C, autograft. Now coming to the point, what are these isograft, allograft and xenograft? Let's understand. Isograft is taken from different individual of the same species who are genetically different. For example, if the skin graft is taken from any other human being, that will be isograft. Okay, that will be isograft. And usually identical twins is the most common, you can say, is the priority, right? So isograft will be taken from twin, right? Or you can say isograft is taken, or this graft is taken from the individuals of the same species having same genetic composition, almost same. Now allograft. Allograft is taken from individuals of the same species who is not a twin. That means genetic composition will be different. Okay, so it will be taken from सर देखना एक मिनट, कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ क्या? आशिक सर एक मिनट देखना, ये OBS बंद हो गया है. लाइव का क्या सीन है? चल रहा है ना? लाइव बंद हो गया क्या? हाँ ठीक है. Okay dear students, so we were talking about, hi Pujita, how are you? So we were talking about isograft, allograft, autograft and xenograft. Okay, hope you all can see me now and can hear me, everybody. Okay, so what we have seen, that autograft is the graft taken from the same individual. Fine. Isograft is taken from genetically similar individual of the same species, that is twin. Okay, homozygotic twin will be the first priority, and allograft is taken from the individuals of the same species but need not to be a homozygotic twin. Okay, so allograft is taken from same species. Now coming to xenograft. Okay, so xenograft is taken from individual of different species. Very important, note it down everybody. Right, so the correct option for this question will be C, that is autograft. Understood everyone? Now let's move on to our next question, but before that let's understand autograft is a graft of tissue from one point to another of the same individual. This is important. Okay, now we know that skin graft is usually taken for plastic surgery and allograft is taken from genetically identical individual, for example homozygotic twins. Isograft is a graft of tissue between two individuals who are genetically identical, that is monozygotic twins. Xenograft is a tissue graft or organ transplant which is done between different species, right? Not allograft. Homozygotic twins will be of isograft, right? Allograft is individuals from different species. Same species, different individual. Okay. Now next question. Dash provides non-specific pathogen defense for the body. See, if an antigen is entering our body and antibodies are produced because of the response of our defense mechanism, that is specific, that is a specific type of immunity. So here you have four options: T cells, B cells, stem cells and phagocytes. We need to tell the non-specific type of defense mechanism in our body, and the correct option for this question will be phagocytes, isn't it? Phagocytes. Phagocytes will include macrophages, neutrophils, right? So let's write it down. Phagocytes will include macrophages and neutrophils. Macrophages and neutrophils. So macrophages and neutrophils are amoeba-like cells that will engulf the foreign particle, the foreign bacteria or the dead cells, right? And this is non-specific. They can engulf anything, any antigen. Yes, very good Pujita. So the correct option for this question will be phagocytes, that will include macrophages and neutrophils, right? Okay, so next question on your screen, question number 3. Study the following table and answer as directed thereafter. So let's see the table. Varicella zoster virus, this is a virus, yes, and it causes chickenpox. This is true. This question is from the chapter Human Health and Disease. We should know the names of the bacterial diseases, viral diseases and fungal diseases, and we should also know the causative organisms, right? Let's see, Shigella. Shigella causes diarrhea and it is a bacteria. Absolutely correct. Can you tell me what will be the correct answer? Status, hi. Plasmodium causes malaria and it is a protozoan. Correct. Microsporum, ringworm, causes fungi. Yes. So basically in this question, each and every statement is correct. First, second, third and fourth. So the correct option here will be 1. All are correct. It should be D. Very good. Status and Pujita. Very nice. Yes. So correct option is all are correct. Right? Varicella zoster will cause chicken pox. It is a virus. And Shigella will cause diarrhea. It is a bacteria. Plasmodium. There are various species of Plasmodium, right, which causes malaria, like Vivax, ovale, malaria and falciparum. And amongst all these Plasmodium species, falciparum is the most dangerous one, right? Now Microsporum is a fungi that causes ringworm, right? Correct option here was D. So here we can see varicella zoster is a virus that causes chicken pox. Diarrhea is caused by bacterium Shigella. Protozoan Plasmodium causes malaria, and we know that there are various species of Plasmodium that causes different types of malaria. Ringworms are caused by fungi, and which all fungi are responsible for ringworm? Very important question asked in NEET, given in your NCERT. Microsporum, Trichophyton and Epidermophyton. Note it down everyone, very important information, right? Next question. Can you tell me the answer of this question, Pujita and status? Match the column A with B. Colostrum, allergy, activation of B lymphocyte, largest antibody. We know in our body 5 types of antibodies are produced, which we can remember with the term GAMD. Let's write it down. Let's write it down. IgG, IgA, IgM, IgD and IgE, right? So GAMDE, GAMD. Now from this IgA is present in all secretions of your body. Okay, all secretions of your body will have IgA, whether it is milk or colostrum, whether it is saliva, whether it is gastric juice, whether it is sweat, okay, tears. So in all the secretions of your body, we will have IgA. So let's match our colostrum with IgA. Allergy, for allergy, IgE is responsible. So I will mark allergy with IgE. Activation of B lymphocyte is the function of IgD. Very good, everyone. And largest antibody is IgM. So the correct option for this question will be C. Very nice. Keep it up. Okay. Remember the names of these antibodies. Ig stands for immunoglobulins. These are actually plasma proteins which is present in your blood. Right? So remember about IgG. IgG is the smallest antibody and it can cross placenta. Very important. It can cross placenta. Okay. So this IgG can travel from mother's body to the fetal body with the help of placenta, because it is the smallest antibody and it can cross it, right? Regarding IgM, it is the largest antibody. IgD helps in activation of B lymphocyte and IgE is responsible for allergy. Okay, so correct option here was option C. Now let's move on to our next question. Which treatment or step is taken for the product formed by rDNA technology? Once the product is formed through rDNA technology, now what will be the next step? Strict quality control testing is done on product. Absolutely correct. Yes. Suitable preservation of product, that is to be done, right? Formulation has to undergo clinical trials, very important. Without trials, we cannot release the product in the market. So the correct option will be D, very good status, all of the above. What is your name? Can you tell me in the chat? Okay. Yes, Pujit, the correct option here was D. Now next question, question number 6 on your screen. The protein product of Bt toxin gene, very important, Cry1AC and Cry2AB are responsible for controlling. Now remember, Cry1AC and Cry2AB are the genes in the bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis. अरे W हो, yes yes yes. तुमने बताया था पहले, still I forgot, yes. So Cry1AC and Cry2AB are the genes present in Bacillus thuringiensis that codes for Bt toxin, okay? That codes for Bt toxin. But this toxin is produced in inactive form, right? This toxin is produced in inactive form, okay? In the form of protoxin. And this protoxin gets activated in the gut of only insects. Okay, that's why the plant which has this gene will not be affected. Even if we are eating that plant, then again we won't be affected. So let's write it down. Bt toxin is present in the form of protoxin, and this protoxin will become or will activate due to alkaline pH of the gut of insects, right? So what all plants have been made with the help of this? One is Bt cotton and the another one is Bt brinjal, right? So Bt cotton is marketed in India, okay? So Bt cotton will have protoxin that will not harm humans or the plant itself. It will be activated in the gut of insect. Which insect? Bollworm, right? And after activation, it will cause perforation of the gut of the insect and ultimately it will die. We know this, right? So it is effective against bollworm, right? So correct option for this question will be bollworm, right? A. Very good Pujita and W. Correct option is A. Let's move on to our next question. And in this question, can you see there are two statements? You will have to tell me which of the following is correct statement or incorrect statement, right? Biolistic method of gene transfer is an example of direct gene transfer. Recall biolistic gene gun method. In biolistic method, PBr 322 is used, and what is PBr 322? It is a plasmid. It is a plasmid, right? Can you tell me which is the correct option? Tell me which is the correct option. Statement 1 is true or 2 is true or both are true or both are false. So basically the first statement is true, that biolistic gene gun method is the method of direct gene transfer, right? There is a gun in which there are particles of gold or tungsten or platinum which is coated by the gene that we want to be introduced in the host cell, and then it is fired. So plasmids are not used in this method. There is no need of vector. We don't need a vehicle to carry our gene of interest to the host. No, that is not required, right? So the correct option will be statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. That means C, isn't it, everyone? So let's note it down. What is biolistic gene gun method with me? Everybody, yes, correct option was C. So in biolistic gene gun method, The particles are the particles of gold, tungsten, basically any inert particle, or platinum or palladium is coated with our gene of interest, and this particle is bombarded directly into the host cell. Okay. Bombarded into host cells. Right, host cells. But there is no requirement of the plasmid. We don't want a vector or carrier to carry our gene of interest. So the second statement is incorrect. Correct option was C. Fine. Now let's move on to our next question. Crygene, which synthesizes crystal protein, is isolated from. Just now we have discussed, this is a very important question from the chapter biotechnology, right? So crygene is obtained from Bacillus thuringiensis, right? Now this bacteria have this gene, and the important gene that you should know for exam is Cry1AC and Cry2AB, and this gene will produce toxin that will kill bollworms. Okay, this is introduced in Bt cotton, in Bt brinjal. So the correct option here will be Bacillus thuringiensis, right? Not Rhizobium, not Bacillus polymyxa or Clostridium. Correct option is this. Do you remember Clostridium? Clostridium causes tetanus, isn't it? Clostridium causes tetanus. Okay. So correct option here was option A. Let's move on to our next question. Glycosidic linkage at place of branching in starch and glycogen is. Remember, starch and glycogen both have a branched structure. So let's write it down. A, B or C. Starch and glycogen. What are these? These are polysaccharides. These are polysaccharides and they have branched structure. Branch structure. Can you tell me what will be the correct option for this question? Alpha 1,6, alpha 1,4, beta 1,4 or beta 1,6. Which linkage will be present at the site of branching of this polysaccharide? Okay. Can you tell which one? Alpha 1,6, alpha 1,4, beta 1,4 or beta 1,6. The correct option will be alpha 1,4. Okay, 1,6, alpha 1,6, because in the linear structure there is alpha 1,4 and at the time of branching you will see there is alpha 1,6. So both type of linkage is present in glycogen and starch. Okay, both type of linkage, alpha 1,4 and alpha 1,6. Now this is present in the linear part and this is present in the branch. Remember this, important. Next question. A functional but non-protein amino acid is. A functional but non-protein amino acid means which amino acid is there in our body but it is not utilized in forming proteins. Okay, so this is the meaning of this question. Which amino acid amongst ornithine, citrulline, diaminopimalic acid? Okay, can you tell me? Okay, status W is saying D, Pujita is also saying D. Yes, correct option is D, that is all of the above. Ornithine, you must have heard about ornithine in urea ornithine cycle. Ornithine is amino acid, citrulline is also amino acid and diaminopymalic acid is also amino acid, but it does not form any protein. There are only 20 amino acids that will form protein, isn't it? There are only 20 amino acids which forms proteins, and if we leave aside these 20 amino acids, there are 300 around amino acids which are non-protein amino acids, right? Now this 20 amino acid is divided into essential and non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acid 20 or 21? No, 20, right? Essential amino acids are the one that is not formed in our body and is required from outside, right? We need an outside source for these amino acids. Those are essential amino acids. So I will write it here. They are not synthesized by our body. Now non-essential amino acids are not required from outside, right? We can synthesize these non-essential amino acids, right? So these are synthesized by our body. So that's why they are non-essential. And how you are going to remember these essential and non-essential amino acids? By a simple mnemonic, AV Hill MPTT. Let's write it down. AV Hill MPTT. It looks like an address, isn't it? AV Hill MPTT, it looks like an address. Now AV Hill, A stand for arginine, V stand for valine, H stand for histidine, I for isoleucine, L for leucine, L for lysine, M for methionine, P for phenylalanine, T for tryptophan, and T for threonine. Okay. Now these are the names of the essential amino acid. Now remember arginine and histidine, these are the semi-essential amino acids. Okay. Arginine and histidine are semi-essential amino acid, and rest of the amino acid apart from these will be non-essential amino acids, right? Understood everyone? Now one more question is asked in exam is about sulfur containing amino acid. Can you tell me in the chat which are the sulfur containing amino acid? Can you tell me in the chat? हाँ, केमिस्ट्री के काम आएगा, केमिस्ट्री में भी काम आएगा, बायोलॉजी में भी काम आएगा. ओके, AV Hill MPTT essential amino acids हैं. Can you tell me sulfur containing amino acid? Anyone? क्या होगा सल्फर कंटेनिंग अमीनो एसिड? बताओ बताओ, जल्दी बताओ. Okay, you can tell me in the chat. I will wait. Till then I will proceed with this non-protein amino acid. Only 20 amino acid will form. Not remember? Okay. Remember that methionine, okay, methionine is a sulfur containing amino acid asked in exam. Correct option here was D. Next, what does A, C and B represent in the diagram? You all can see this diagram. Starch will be acted upon some enzyme A, which will form maltose. Now maltose will be acted upon by some enzyme which is C. Hi Shiv Kanya, how are you? And it will form glucose. Sucrose will be acted upon by an enzyme D that will form fructose, and lactose will be acted upon some enzyme B that will form galactose. Can you tell me what will be the correct option? What will be A, B, C and D here? Yes, Shiv Kanya, W, Pujita, can anybody tell me what will be the correct option here? This is the question from biomolecules, you can say, or from digestion and absorption, and this is a very important question. Figure it out and tell me what will be the correct option here. D. Shiv Kanya is saying D. Let's see, starch will be acted upon by amylase. Amylase. We know that salivary amylase digests around 30% of starch in our oral cavity itself. Do you remember this? Okay, asked in NEET, very important line. Now starch will be digested into maltose or broken down into maltose. Maltose will be acted upon by maltase and it will form glucose, isn't it? Sucrose will form glucose and fructose because of enzyme sucrase, and lactose will form glucose and galactose because of enzyme lactase. Yes? See, all the enzymes are sorted, so the correct option for this question will be B. B, salivary amylase. Then we have maltase. One second. And they are talking about A, C and B. So yes, A is salivary amylase, C is maltase and B is lactase. So the correct option will be B. Okay? Shiv Kanya, correct option will be B here, because they are asking about A, C and B. Remember to pay attention on this sequence. Chalo, next question. Coelom is the body cavity lined with the mesoderm. Identify the animals having true coelom. Hi, Indian Railways, you can tell me your name in the chat, dear. Okay. So, coelom is the body cavity that we all know. Those organisms that don't have coelom, we call them as acelomate organism. Those organisms that have false coelom are known as pseudo-coelomate organism. Example is escarments or roundworm, right? And the organisms that have true coelom, hi Rishi, how are you? True coelom, that means they will have a coelom that is lined by mesoderm on all its sides, and those organisms are known as coelomate. I am very happy to see you here, Rishi. Okay, so let's write it down. Coelomate organisms will have a body cavity lined by mesoderm on all its sides, right? And true coelom starts from Annelida to chordata, right? So we know that our phylum Platyhelminth or flatworms, they are triploblastic but they don't have coelom. Escarments or roundworms, they have a false coelom, and starting from Annelida to chordata are the organisms that will have true coelom, isn't it? One more point you should know, that Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, they have a coelom which is known as schizocoelom, that is derived by splitting of the mesodermal cells. But Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata, they have enterocoelom that is derived from the gut wall, isn't it? So coelomate organisms will be from Annelida to chordata. Is it clear? From Annelida to chordata. So here starfish and silverfish. Starfish, what is starfish? It is Echinodermata, right? What is silverfish? Can anybody tell me in the chat? Silverfish is an arthropoda. Okay, silverfish का नाम क्या है? Lepisma. Silverfish is lepisma. It is not a fish at all. Please note it down. It is not a fish. It is an arthropod. Fine. But it is arthropoda, right? Now next is devilfish and jellyfish. Devilfish, क्या है? Devilfish is a mollusca. Devilfish is octopus. It is coelomate, but not this jellyfish. Jellyfish is diploplastic. Mesoderm ही नहीं है तो coelom कहाँ से आएगा, right? It is a coelenterata or anidaria. That means ये तो नहीं है, इसके पास तो नहीं है coelom, right? Next question. Next option, sorry, jellyfish के पास नहीं है coelom. Bony fishes will have coelom. But again, this option cannot be true. Next option देखते हैं, silverfish and jellyfish. Again, jellyfish will not have a coelom. So the correct option for this question will be, बता दो in the chat फटाफट. Correct option is starfish and silverfish, because starfish is an echinodermata and silverfish is an arthropoda and दोनों के पास होता है true coelom. Clear everyone? Yes, correct option was C. Yeah, correct option was A, not C. बता दिया मैंने, उसके बाद भी C लिख रहे हो, है ना? Let's move on to our next question. Segmentation is the division of body externally and internally into segments. Choose the animal that shows metamerism. Now metamerism or segmentation is shown by 3 phylums. Please note it down, repeatedly asked in NEET. Animal kingdom is very interesting, isn't it? So segmentation is there in 3 phylums: Annelida, Arthropoda. Write it down everyone. And mollusca has asegmented body, remember that. The third option will be chordata, right? Annelida will have both external and internal segmentation. Arthropoda will have only external segmentation and chordata will have only internal segmentation. So 4 option है आपके पास: hydra, jellyfish. Hydra is a cnidaria. I will write it down so that you can recall everything. Hydra is a cnidaria or coelenterata. Jellyfish is also a cnidaria, right? Earthworm is Annelida. And D is both A and B. No, this could not be the answer. So the correct option here is earthworm. It has both external and internal segmentation, and this is known as metamerism. This is known as metamerism. So the correct option will be Annelida. That is earthworm. Very good. Next question on your screen. Statement 1. Platypus and spiny anteater are oviparous and viviparous respectively. सोचते हैं. Pneumatic bones are present in birds. So पहले तो हम ये देखते हैं कि platypus and spiny anteaters, where we are placing these organisms. So these are mammals, but they are egg-laying mammals, which are known as prototheria. So let's write it down. Everybody write it with me, that platypus and echidna are prototheria mammals. That means they will lay eggs. Both. These are egg laying mammals, right? Now, platypus is also known as ornithorhynchus and spiny anteater is also known as echidna. Okay, so ornithorhynchus and echidna, these are prototheria, egg-laying mammals. They have mammary glands. They have mammary glands for feeding their young ones. That's why they are known as mammals. But they lay eggs, right? So this one is incorrect statement. We know why, because it is written that echidna or the spiny anteater is viviparous. This is wrong, right? Statement 2. Pneumatic bones are present in birds. What are pneumatic bones? Pneumatic bones are the bones that have air spaces or air cavities inside. That is present in birds. Pneumatic bones have air cavities, and pneumo means air, and this is present in birds. Yes, it is absolutely correct. We don't want our birds to be heavy, otherwise they will not be able to fly. So the second statement is correct, but the first statement is wrong. And correct option is D. Very good Pujita, very good Rishi, very nice. जो भी बच्चे सेशन को देख रहे हैं, प्लीज डोंट फॉरगेट टू लाइक दिस सेशन, शेयर दिस सेशन विथ योर फ्रेंड्स एंड सब्सक्राइब करो इन्फिनिटी लर्न नीट चैनल को. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, मैच द फॉलोइंग. So we have column 1 and column 2 here. In column 1 we have water vascular system, repeatedly asked in NEET. Pneumatic bones, flame cells, water canal system. In column 2 we have platyhelminths, echinodermata, birds and porifera. फटाफट मैच करो. बता दो क्या होगा करेक्ट आंसर. वाटर वास्कुलर सिस्टम is present in echinodermata. Remember, water canal system is present in sponges, but water vascular system is present in echinodermata. Repeatedly asked in NEET, note it down. Pneumatic bones अभी डिस्कस किया. Bones with air cavities. This pneumatic bone is present in birds to keep their body light for flying. This is an adaptation to fly. Flame cells are present in platyhelminths and it helps in excretion. It helps in excretion, right? Very important question asked in NEET. Water canal system will be present in porifera. ठीक है, तो याद रखना water canal, don't get confused in water canal system and water vascular system. Water canal system is present in porifera or sponges and water vascular system is present in echinodermata. मैच कर दो और बता दो क्या है करेक्ट ऑप्शन. सी. ऋषि is saying C, but the correct option is D. Okay, A 2, B 3, C 1 and D 4. Correct option is D. ठीक है, कर लिया मैच. कोई कंफ्यूजन तो नहीं है, गलत हो गया कोई बात नहीं, नेक्स्ट टाइम ध्यान रखना. वाटर वास्कुलर सिस्टम इन एकाइनोडर्मेटा, वाटर कैनाल सिस्टम इन पोरीफेरा. इससे ही ये वाला जो क्वेश्चन है वो सॉल्व हो जाएगा, राइट. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, 16th क्वेश्चन. 2 स्टेटमेंट्स वी हैव हियर. स्टेटमेंट 1, ऑल मेंबर्स ऑफ साइक्लोस्टोम्स आर एंडोपैरासाइट ऑन रेप्टाइल्स. व्हाट आर साइक्लोस्टोम्स? Cyclostomes are organism that have round suctorial mouth. जिसके पास है round suctorial mouth. किसके पास है round suctorial mouth? लैम्प्रे और पेट्रोमाइजन के पास एंड मिक्जीन या हैगफिश के पास, isn't it? So these organisms, they don't have jaw. Okay, they don't have jaw. So these are also known as agnatha. And these organisms, cyclostomes, they are ectoparasite on large fishes, right? And not on reptiles, and they are not endoparasites, right? So these are cyclostomata. Second statement, mollusca and arthropods are all freshwater animals. Mollusca can be both freshwater and marine, right? Similarly, arthropods can be terrestrial or aquatic. In aquatic also they can be marine or freshwater. So both the statements are wrong. Correct option for this question will be, both the statements are incorrect, that is B. Now remember, few important points from cyclostomata is there, that petromyzin, which is also known as lamprey, petromyzin, which is also known as lamprey, it shows anadromous behavior, anadromous behavior. And what is anadromous behavior? Arthropoda कब water में रहने लगे? क्यों? W, arthropoda lives in water also. So are you forgetting crabs, prawns? These are arthropods and they live in water, isn't it? Recall. Fine. Now anadromous behavior means they live in the sea but they move to fresh water for spawning. Spawning means laying their eggs. कॉकरोच नहीं रहते वाटर में, इसलिए मैंने बोला कि टेरेस्ट्रियल भी हो सकते हैं, एक्वेटिक भी हो सकता है ना, कॉकरोच तो टेरेस्ट्रियल है, राइट. नाउ एनाड्रोमस बिहेवियर मीन्स दे लिव इन सी बट मूव टू फ्रेश वाटर for spawning. Spawning means for laying their eggs. For laying their eggs. ठीक है, तो वो रहते हैं सी में, जाते हैं फ्रेश वाटर में, वहां पर दे lay their eggs and then they return. They cannot return back, so they die there. Okay, their eggs they hatch into larva and then larvas return back to the sea. So this is anadromous behavior shown by petromyzin or lamprey. This is the previous year question. Okay, frog is arthropoda? नहीं ऋषि, frog is an amphibian, right? Arthropoda include organisms that have chitinous exoskeleton which has joint legs, right? So let's move on to our next question. जो मैं information बता रही हूँ question के साथ साथ में please note it down बच्चों. These are very important information that will help you in NEET. So next question, question number 17. Match the following type of question again. In column 1 you have Thomas Malthus, Hugo de Vries, Charles Darwin and Lamarck. This is a question from Evolution of class 12th chapter. Column 2 we have branching descent, studies on population, use and disuse of organ theory and saltation. बहुत ही अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, फटाफट से मार्क करके मुझे आंसर बता दो अभी. ABCD ऑप्शन में से कौन सा करेक्ट होगा, देख के बताओ जल्दी जल्दी जल्दी. ओके चलो लेट्स सॉल्व इट. Thomas Malthus wrote the book on population and this book inspired Darwin to write his book. Okay, so Malthus is related to studies on population, right? Remember this and note it down अगर आपको नहीं पता था तो. Hugo de Vries was the one who gave mutational theory. He gave mutational theory. Okay, while working on evening primrose, that is Oinothera lamarckiana, and he gave the term saltation. Saltation means single step large mutation, isn't it? Single step large mutation. So let's write it down. Saltation is single step large mutation given by Hugo de Vries. Then we have Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin का जो थ्योरी था और जो बुक था ओरिजिन ऑफ स्पीशीज, राइट, बाय नेचुरल सिलेक्शन, उसके दो इम्पॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट थे. वन था ब्रांचिंग डिसेंट एंड दूसरा था नेचुरल सिलेक्शन. सो ब्रांचिंग डिसेंट was given by Charles Darwin and Lamarck was the one who gave the theory of use and disuse of organs. What he said, Lamarck, that if we are using a particular organ consistently, it will develop more. but if we are not using any particular organ, slowly it will degenerate. So this theory of use and disuse of organ was given by Lamarck. Right, now match it everybody. B, Surekha is saying B, W is saying C, Rishi is saying B. Yes, correct option is B. Thomas Malthus will be matched with studies on population, Hugo de Vries by saltation, Charles Darwin by branching descent, Lamarck by use and disuse of organ. Very important question from the chapter evolution. Very nice, very good everyone. Next question, question number 18. All of the following are ape man stages in origin of man except, again one more question from evolution. Ape man stages कौन सा नहीं है? Ramapithecus, Kenyapithecus, Dryopithecus and Australopithecus. Can you tell me in the chat which will be the correct option here, everyone? Please don't forget to like and share this session. Subscribe कर देना Infinity Learn NEET channel को, अगर आपने नहीं किया है subscribe तो. बहुत सारे important questions today we are going to discuss, total 50. Okay. C. Okay. Saurabh is saying C. Rishi is saying C. Surekha is saying A. Let's see. Ramapithecus, Kenyapithecus and Dryopithecus, they all are ape man. They all are ape man. Right? Ramapithecus was more man-like and Dryopithecus was more ape-like fossil, but all the three were ape man. What was not ape man was the fossil of Australopithecus. Right? Australopithecus is not considered as ape man. Right? So correct option for this question was D. Now, समझ गए कहाँ you are lacking? It is written in your NCERT that Ramapithecus was more man-like and Dryopithecus was more ape-like. This is also important for NEET. I want more points from which questions are asked in NEET from your NCERT. Let's discuss that. The first point that is asked is about the cranial capacity of Neanderthal man. Can you tell me what is the cranial capacity of Neanderthal man, everyone? Neanderthal man or Homo sapiens neanderthalensis. Can anybody tell me in the chat? Neanderthal man have a cranial capacity of 1400 cc. Repeatedly asked in your exam. Remember about Neanderthal man that they used to live in caves. They used to protect their body with hide and they used to bury the dead organisms, right? Yes, correct option is 1400 cc for this. So these questions are asked from Neanderthal man. One more question is asked from Cro-Magnon man. Cro-Magnon man. We can see cave paintings made by Cro-Magnon man in the caves of MP. Right? So I will write it here. Cave paintings are associated by Cro-Magnon man. Now, one more question asked from this portion of evolution is regarding Handyman. So, who is Handyman? The fossils of, can you tell me who is Handyman? Handyman? Homo habilis. Homo habilis is also known as handyman. Now, this handyman was very skilled and they used to make tools from the stones, right? So, Homo habilis is also known as handyman. Okay, it is habilis, not habilis. One second. Now, can you tell me who was the one who discovered fire first? Do you remember Java man? Homo habilis is a fossil. Yes, Homo habilis is a fossil. All these are name of the fossils, dear students. Okay, fossils of our ancestors, right? So, who discovered fire first? So, fire was discovered by Java man or Homo erectus. I will write it Homo erectus. Homo erectus discovered fire. So, these are the important points that will be asked in your exam related to your NCERT. Understood everyone? Written everyone? Very important. लिख लिया सबने? चलो, let's move on to next question. Again there are 3 statements. तीनों statement को पढ़ लेते हैं हम एक एक करके. Hugo de Vries experimented on the plant called evening primrose. Yes, that is right. It is also known as Oinothera lamarckiana, right? Mutational theory was proposed by Hugo de Vries. Absolutely correct. And eyes of octopus and mammals represent homology. What do you understand by homologous organ? Let's write it down. Homologous. Homologous organ will have same structure but different function. Same structure but different function. Right, same structure but different functions. Yes, so eyes of octopus and mammals, they have different structure but same function. They help in vision but the structure is different. So they are example of analogous organ and not homologous organ. Understood everyone? Any question? Tell me in the chat. So the correct option will be 3 is incorrect. 3rd is incorrect. 1st and 2nd are correct. So correct option is B here, not C. C क्यों होगा? Only 2nd is correct. ऊपर वाला statement भी तो सही है. 1st statement is also correct भाई. Hugo de Vries experimented on the plant evening primrose, which is also known as Oinothera lamarckiana, and he gave the mutational theory. He also gave the term saltation. According to him, evolution is a single step large mutation, that is saltation, right? So the 3rd statement is only wrong. Understood everyone? Pujita, W, Rishi, right? So the correct option here was B. Next question on your screen. O'Parren and Haldane's hypothesis was proved by. Experiment. किसने किया? Experimentally, who proved the theory of O'Parren and Haldane? Darwin, Hugo de Vries, Stanley Miller or Griffith? Can anybody tell me the correct option, the correct answer for this question? Can you recall Miller's experiment? Can you all recall Miller's experiment? I will tell you about every question that is asked from this Miller's experiment. Okay, what Miller did? Stanley Miller, yes. What Miller did? What he did was, in his laboratory, he tried to repeat the environment that was there in the primitive earth, which was reducing environment, right? We had hydrogen, but there was no oxygen. And that environment of our primitive earth enhanced the chances of production or formation of life, isn't it? We know that first cells, which were protobiotes, that included coacervates and microspheres, were formed then. So what he did was, he simulated that primitive environment in his laboratory, okay, with all the gases that were there on the earth at that time, including ammonia, methane, hydrogen and water vapors, right? And he raised the temperature to 800 degrees Celsius, asked in your exam. Temperature was raised to 800 degrees Celsius. Okay, and the gases that he took in his experiment was hydrogen, ammonia, methane and water vapor. Can you see? No oxygen was there. No oxygen was there. So ये भी हम लिख लेते हैं. There was no oxygen. Very important point, right? Also temperature was raised and all these gases were present. Because of this experiment, what he got was 3 amino acids initially. Okay, and which were these 3 amino acids that he got? 3 amino acid he got during his first experiment. Later he got many molecules, yes, biomolecules, but initially he got only 3 amino acid, and these were glycine, alanine and aspartic acid. Note it down, everyone. Okay, so these 3 amino acids he got initially, and by this experiment he proved the theory of Oparin and Haldane, and their theory was on chemical evolution. According to them, our sea was a hot dilute soup and life originated first from the sea because of the combination of chemicals, right? So the correct option here will be Stanley Miller. Okay. Now let's move on to our next question. Which of the following is correctly representing the sequence of evolutionary history of mammals? Now this question is taken from a flow chart or the diagram that is given in your chapter Evolution. If you are not able to solve this question, please open your NCERT, look at that image and then tell me the correct answer. Okay. So please look here carefully. Early reptiles, synapsids, pelycosaurs, therapsids and mammals. Extinct reptiles, sauropsids, pelycosaurs, therapsids, mammals. Early reptiles, synapsids, pelycosaurs, thecodons, mammals. Early reptiles, sauropsids, thecodon, pelycosaurs and mammals. Okay, so Pravneesh has given me B as the correct answer. Very good, Pravneesh. I want all of you to tell me what will be your answer. Okay, what will be your answer? No one? Okay, we can see here. Can you see this diagram? This diagram is taken from NCERT, isn't it? Can you see the images? Okay, so let's understand how question is asked from here. Everybody has seen this diagram and mostly you skip, isn't it? You don't notice the details that is given here and question can be asked from there. Now, early reptiles that were extinct, can you see here? Early reptiles that were extinct gave rise to sauropsids and synapsids. Okay. Now, sauropsids gave rise to reptiles. Sauropsids gave rise to reptiles, right? And dinosaurs, including crocodile as well, okay, and birds also. So sauropsids gave rise to reptiles, birds, dinosaurs. Okay, हाँ ये डायग्राम का पिक्चर याद रखना पड़ेगा, सीक्वेंस तो बिल्कुल याद रखना पड़ेगा, right? Now synapsids, I will write it here. Sauropsids gave rise to reptiles, including crocodile and birds. Also dinosaurs which are extinct now. Synapsids gave rise to mammals. Here you can see synapsids gave rise to mammals. On the way they gave rise to pelycosaurs which are extinct now, then thecodonts, therapsids and finally mammals. Very important question of NEET that we tend to miss from this diagram. So the correct option in this question will be A. Can you see the sequence? बहुत डर लगता है एग्जाम को लेके, डरने का जरूरत नहीं है, क्वेश्चंस बहुत इजी आते हैं, बस कंपटीशन थोड़ा ज़्यादा है बच्चों. So early reptiles gave rise to synapsids. Synapsids gave rise to pelycosaurs, then therapsids and then mammal. Is it clear? Is it clear? समझ में आया? Correct option. So correct option is A. Okay. Early reptiles, synapsids, pelycosaurs, therapsids and mammals. ठीक है? Now let's move on to our next question. Choose the correct option from the following. Wings of fly and bird. They are talking about housefly. And bird is an example of homologous structure of organ. Boyer and Crick propose the semi-conservative nature of DNA replication. Insulin is produced from pancreas and both A and C are correct. So you will have to tell which is the correct statement. See, wings of fly and birds, these are example of analogous organ. Both of them uses the wings for flying, but the structure is different. So the organ is analogous and not homologous. Boyer and Crick, no, Watson and Crick. Insulin is produced from the pancreas. Yes, insulin is produced from the pancreas, and which cells from pancreas form insulin? Beta cells of islets of Langerhans produce insulin, and insulin help in reducing the blood sugar level. So the correct option will be C and not D, because A is wrong. A is wrong. C is correct. So D nahi hoga. Correct option will be C only. So beta cells of islets of Langerhans produces insulin. Alpha cells of islets of Langerhans produces glucagon that increases the blood glucose level, right? Chalo, next question. A mismatch during transfusion of blood causes. If there is a mismatch during transfusion of blood, what will happen? We know that RBC surfaces have antigens and there are antibodies in the plasma. We know that on the surface of RBC, there are antigens, right? Antigens. We know if the blood group is B positive, that means B antigen will be present on the surface of RBC of that individual, and the plasma will have antibodies. Which antibodies? A or alpha, right? So similarly, we also know if an individual is having AB blood group, so both type of antigens will be present on the surface of RBC and plasma will not have any antibodies. This information we know. Whenever mismatched blood is transfused, there will be antigen-antibody reaction. There will be antigen-antibody reaction, and this is termed as agglutination. This is termed as agglutination. Right? Can you tell me in the chat, everybody must be knowing that which blood group is said to be universal donor? Which blood group is universal donor? This question is repeatedly asked in exam and we know the answer. Can you tell me in the chat? Universal donor. कौन है universal donor? O. Very good. O negative, but O is good. Q. Why O? Because O blood group will not have any antigen on the surface of RBC, right? Very good. Which blood group is said to be universal recipient, that can receive blood from all the blood groups? Universal recipient, can anybody tell me universal recipient? Which blood group? B? No. AB. Because there are no antibodies in the plasma. So, कोई भी antigen आ जाए in their blood, there will not be any agglutination, there will not be any antigen-antibody reaction, isn't it? So, universal donor. Universal donor is O negative, and universal recipient is AB blood group. So correct option for this question will be A. Chalo, now let's move on to our next question. Heart output or cardiac output is the volume of blood pumped out by. We know how much is our cardiac output. It is around 5 liters. Cardiac output is the volume of blood pumped by both the ventricles of heart in 1 minute. In 1 minute. AB blood group is also present in universe. Yes, AB blood group is also present in universe. Okay. So, Correct option here. Can anybody tell me 5 liters of blood is pumped by both the ventricles of heart in 1 minute? So correct option will be both ventricles in 1 minute. Now can you tell me what is stroke volume? Stroke volume asked in NEET. Let's write it down. Stroke volume, which is also known as beat volume, okay, is the volume of blood pumped by heart during one beat. It is the volume of blood pumped by heart per beat. So this is stroke volume. कितना है इसका वैल्यू? 70 ml. 70 ml, राइट? सो एक बीट में अगर हार्ट पंप कर रहा है 70 ml ब्लड, तो एक मिनट में कितना करेगा? दैट इज कार्डियक आउटपुट. सो मल्टीप्लाई 70 ml by 72 beats per minute. So you will get 5 liters, right? So stroke volume is 70 ml. And what is cardiac output? ये सारे फॉर्मूलाज याद रखना. बहुत कम ही आउटपुट का स्पेलिंग गलत है. बहुत कम ऐसे फॉर्मूलाज होते हैं जूलॉजी में. ओके, सो कार्डियक आउटपुट is stroke volume into heart rate. So stroke volume into heart rate will give you the cardiac output, which is around 5 liters. Any confusion, any question, tell me in the chat. कोई भी confusion है, कोई भी दिक्कत है, problem है, question है, please ask. Okay, so correct option here was A. Next question. Receptors associated with aortic arch and carotid artery can recognize. This is a very important question जो आपको नहीं पता होता है. I know. Okay, so there are certain receptors, chemical receptors present in the aortic arch, that is the arch of aorta, and in the carotid artery, that is the carotid sinus. Now these receptors, can you tell me what will be the correct option? Try A, B, C, D. What they can judge or what they can recognize. Okay, W is saying A. Very good. So these receptors, these chemical receptors can recognize the concentration of carbon dioxide and H plus ions in the blood. Okay, these receptors can only recognize the H plus ions and the carbon dioxide concentration in blood. It cannot recognize the concentration of oxygen or chloride ions or any other ions. Okay, no oxygen, not only carbon dioxide and not only hydrogen ion. Okay, it can recognize both carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion concentration. Remember, not oxygen. Okay, now let's move on to our next question. Correct option here was A. Portal system is one in which? What is portal system? Portal system, and which type of portal system is present in our body? In our body there are two types of portal system present. One is hepatic portal system and another one is hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal system. Next one is hypophyseal hepatic portal system is the portal system associated with our liver and intestine. See, understand, normally what should happen? The deoxygenated blood from any organ should move to heart directly. But if deoxygenated blood from any organ is not going to heart, instead it is going to some another organ, that is known as portal system. So your deoxygenated blood from intestine, instead of going to heart, will go to liver first and then it will go to heart through inferior vena cava. But this is a portal system. That means capillaries will be attached to intestine and then will form a vein, and then again it will break down into capillaries in the liver. Similarly, we have hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal system, which is present in our hypothalamus and pituitary gland, right? So deoxygenated blood from hypothalamus should go into the heart, but instead of going into the heart, it will go to the pituitary gland first. Why? Because we want the hormones from hypothalamus to come in the posterior pituitary and stored, and it is stored there, right? So the correct option here will be a vein start from an organ and ends up in another organ. A vein that will start from an organ and instead of ending in the heart, it will end in some another organ, that is portal system. Renal portal system is not present in our body. It is present in frog. Okay, so correct option here will be B. Is it correct everyone? Do you have any doubt? Please let me know in the chat. बता दो क्या होगा correct option, है ना? Correct option is B. Let's move on to our next question. Function of SA node is, what is the full form of SA node? Sinoatrial node. It is sinoatrial node. Now this sinoatrial node is a part of nodal tissue in our heart. We know that our heart is myogenic, isn't it? Our heart is myogenic. Myogenic heart. Cockroach का heart कैसा है? Cockroach have a neurogenic heart. So myogenic heart, what do you understand by myogenic heart? That means the nodal tissue or the muscular tissue in the heart itself will form or generate the impulses for the beating of heart. So SA node is also known as the pacemaker of heart, also known as the pacemaker of heart, because it generates impulses for its beating, right? So it is related to the heartbeat. So correct option here will be SA node is related to the heartbeat. C is the correct option. We also have AV node in our heart. Now this AV node is also known as the pace setter of heart. Then we have bundle branches and Purkinje fibers that form bundle of His. All these are nodal tissue that will help in generation and conduction of impulses in your heart. That's why your heart will keep on beating. Your heart is not getting impulses from brain for beating. No. That type of heart is neurogenic heart present in cockroach, not in humans. Next. The greatest quantity of air that can be expired after a maximum inspiratory effort. Okay. फोर्सफुल इनहेलेशन किया, इंस्पिरेशन किया, उसके बाद हम कितना एयर एक्सपायर कर पाएंगे? दिस इज व्हाट दे आर आस्किंग इन दिस क्वेश्चन. ओके, द मैक्सिमम एयर दैट यू कैन एक्सपायर after the maximum inspiratory effort. So is it residual volume? Is it tidal volume? Is it vital capacity or lung volume? The correct option will be vital capacity. Correct option is vital capacity. And what is vital capacity? Let's write it down. Vital capacity is equal to tidal volume. Tidal volume is the normal amount of or the normal volume of air that you are inspiring and expiring during normal breathing. Tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. This is the volume of air that you will inhale forcefully, right, during forceful inspiration, plus expiratory reserve volume. ERV or expiratory reserve volume is the volume of air that you can exhale forcefully. Okay, so vital capacity will be tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume plus expiratory reserve volume. What is not included in vital capacity is the residual volume. And what is residual volume? Residual volume will remain in your lungs or in your alveoli even after forceful expiration to prevent your alveoli from collapsing, right? So vital capacity will be tidal volume, IRV and ERV. Next question. Muscle attached to the diaphragm contract during inspiration to make it. Inspiration के time पे क्या होता है? Let's write it down. Inspiration is an active process. Inspiration is an active process. What happens during this process? There is contraction of muscles. Which two muscles? We are talking about normal inspiration. There is contraction of muscles. Which two muscles? One is diaphragm and another one is external intercostal muscle. One is diaphragm, another one is external intercostal muscles, right? Now diaphragm is initially dome shaped, right? Due to contraction it will flatten. Similarly, external intercostal muscle will contract, and because of this your ribs and sternum will move outward and upward. So ultimately your lung volume will increase and it will lead to decrease in the intrapulmonary pressure, right? So volume will increase, pressure will reduce. That's why the air will come from environment inside your lungs. So diaphragm is initially dome shaped. Because of contraction it will flatten. Very good, Pujita and W. Correct option will be correct option will be inspiration के time पे it will flatten. So correct option is A. Okay, correct option is A and not B. I told you what will happen to diaphragm. Let's write it down. Due to its contraction, the initially dome shaped diaphragm will flatten because of its contraction. Okay, write it down. Correct option is A. मैंने इतने अच्छे से समझाया. Now hope this is clear in your mind. The diaphragm will be dome shaped initially, but due to contraction it will flatten. So correct option will be A. Okay. So next question. Erythropoietin is a hormone responsible for erythropoiesis. Erythropoiesis is formation of RBC. So erythropoiesis के लिए erythropoietin responsible है, but ये कहाँ से produce होता है? It is produced from where? In option you have liver and intestine, kidneys, you have stomach, again intestine. So कहाँ से release होता है erythropoietin? It is released from juxtaglomerular apparatus, from kidneys. Very good. Kidney से release होता है erythropoietin from the juxtaglomerular apparatus. And it helps in erythropoiesis, that is formation of RBC. Next question. Match the following question फिर से once again in front of you. Column 1. Melatonin, vasopressin, limbic system, Maltese. Column 2. Pineal gland, pituitary gland, and succus entericus and forebrain. Let's match it. First you can try, then I will tell you. Melatonin is the hormone which is released from pineal gland, and it helps in maintaining your sleep-wake cycle, which is also known as circadian rhythm. Okay, because of this we experience jet lag, right? So melatonin will be marked with pineal gland, and melatonin hormone is formed from amino acid. Which amino acid? Can you tell me in the chat? Which amino acid will form melatonin hormone? Which amino acid will form melatonin hormone? Tryptophan. And this amino acid is present in milk. That's why it is said now to drink milk before you sleep, right? So melatonin is associated with pineal gland. Vasopressin. Another name of vasopressin is ADH. Okay, vasopressin is also known as ADH or anti-diuretic hormone. It prevents diuresis. It causes reabsorption of, let's write it down. It causes reabsorption of water from DCT and collecting duct. Okay. It also causes constriction of our blood vessels. That's why it is also known as vasopressin. Limbic system is present in forebrain. Now limbic system is also known as emotional brain. Limbic system is responsible for our emotions. Amygdala, hippocampus, these are the parts of our limbic system together with hypothalamus. Amygdala, hippocampus, hypothalamus. So these are the parts of our forebrain that will form the limbic system responsible for our emotions. Okay. Now next is maltase. Maltase is an enzyme that will break down maltose. Okay, Mayank, चलो पढ़ाई करते हैं थोड़ी. Maltase is the enzyme that will break down maltose, and it is a part of succus entericus. And what is succus entericus? Succus entericus is the intestinal juice. Okay, intestinal juice is also known as succus entericus. तो फटाफट मैच करके बता दो मुझे क्या होगा करेक्ट ऑप्शन. फटाफट. We have already matched. The correct option here will be C, A1, B2, C4 and D3. Okay? Okay everyone? Chalo, now let's move on to our next question. The hormone that acts on the distal part of nephron. What is distal part of nephron? They are talking about DCT and collecting duct, right? So DCT and collecting duct for the reabsorption of water and ions. Okay. So which of the following hormone will act on DCT and collecting duct and will cause reabsorption of water and ions? चार ऑप्शन है आप सभी के पास में, ADH, prolactin, trypsin and oxytocin, right? ADH stands for anti-diuretic hormone. अभी हमने डिस्कस किया. It is also known as vasopressin. अभी हमने देखा that ADH will help in reabsorption of water from DCT and collecting duct, right? That's why it will prevent diuresis. Diuresis का मतलब है excessive urination, excessive loss of water को रोकता है ये ADH. Prolactin is the hormone that is responsible for formation of milk in mammary glands, right? Yes, Pujita, W, very good. A is the correct option. Trypsin is a proteolytic enzyme. Oxytocin is an enzyme released from posterior pituitary that will cause smooth muscle contraction or uterine contraction at the time of childbirth. And also 32 questions हो गए हैं, and also it causes milk ejection, right? So let's write it down. Posterior pituitary releases two hormones. Remember, ये जो posterior pituitary hormones है ना बच्चों, this posterior pituitary hormones is formed in hypothalamus and is stored in pituitary gland and released from there, right? So posterior pituitary will release two hormone. One is ADH, also known as vasopressin, and the another one is oxytocin. Okay, oxytocin will help in parturition or childbirth, and next it will help in milk ejection. Note it down everyone, very important points. ADH and vasopressin is responsible for water reabsorption from DCT and collecting duct of nephrons. Written everyone. Oxytocin help in release of estrogen. No, together with estrogen and oxytocin there will be parturition. Okay, so correct option here will be ADH. Right everyone, correct option is A. Let's move on to our next question. Question number 33. How many of the following hormones are proteins? तो इतने सारे hormones हैं आपके सामने, आपको बताना है कि कौन सा hormone proteinaceous है. You have insulin, growth hormone, thymosin, prolactin, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, FSH and LH. Can you tell me in the chat? बहुत ही अच्छा question है, an interesting question है. Which of the following hormones are proteinaceous in nature? जल्दी बताओ. लिख ले, चलो लिख लेते हैं. Insulin is proteinaceous. Growth hormone is proteinaceous. Thymosin is proteinaceous, released from thymus gland. Prolactin again proteinaceous. So mostly the hormones that is released from anterior pituitary is proteinaceous. FSH, LH is also proteinaceous, but it is actually glycoproteins, but still proteinaceous, right? 5 हो रहा है, W देखते कितने होते हैं. 4 हो गए. Estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, ये तो steroid hormones है. FSH proteinaceous, LH proteinaceous. अब काउंट कर लो कितने हैं. कितना हो रहा है? 5 हो रहा है, 6 हो रहा है, कितना हो रहा है? हाँ, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Correct option is A. Okay everyone, any doubt? Estrogen, progesterone, testosterone are steroid hormones. Rest of the hormones, insulin, growth hormone, thymosin, prolactin, FSH and LH are proteinaceous hormone. Correct option is A. Good. Pujita, Rishi, W. Okay, A. That is 6. A. Cholecystokinin stimulates. Cholecystokinin का पूरा नाम क्या है? इसके आगे PZ भी आता है ना, pancreozymin. Cholecystokinin, pancreozymin. Okay. Now this is a hormone which is also known as CCKPZ. Right? FSH भी count करना है, LH भी count करना है. Those are glycoproteins, but still they are proteins, right? So cholecystokinin, pancreozymin का 2 काम होता है. First, it will act on gallbladder. And it will stimulate or constrict the gallbladder to release bile juice. One work, right? The second work of cholecystokinin pancreozymin is that it will stimulate the pancreas and help in release of pancreatic juice, which is rich in enzymes. Very good, Rishi. Right? So cholecystokinin pancreozymin will help in constriction of gallbladder to release bile juice. Also it will act on pancreas to release pancreatic juice rich in pancreatic enzymes. So correct option here will be gallbladder, because they are just asking about cholecystokinin. ओके, सो अगर सिर्फ कोलिसिस्टोकाइनिन पूछा है देन योर आंसर विल बी गॉल ब्लैडर. इफ दे आर आस्किंग अबाउट कोलिसिस्टोकाइनिन पैंक्रियोजाइमिन दैट इज CCK-PZ देन योर आंसर विल बी पैंक्रियाज एज वेल. अंडरस्टूड? व्हाट विल बी द करेक्ट ऑप्शन हियर? यहाँ पर गॉल ब्लैडर होगा आंसर, अगर PZ भी ऐड कर दिया तब होगा पैंक्रियाज. राइट इट डाउन. Also, there is one more important point related to the hormones of GIT is regarding secretin. Secretin was the first hormone to be discovered. Remember, hormone to be discovered, and it also stimulates pancreas. It also stimulates pancreas, and it help in formation of or release of pancreatic juice, which is rich in bicarbonate ions and water. So it helps in release of bicarbonate ions and water from pancreas. हाँ, लाइक कर दो सेशन को, शेयर भी कर दो फ्रेंड्स के साथ में, एंड सब्सक्राइब भी कर दो इन्फिनिटी लर्न नीट चैनल को अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो. करेक्ट ऑप्शन फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन वाज गॉल ब्लैडर. ओके एवरीवन, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. बहुत ही सिंपल क्वेश्चन है. मालपीजियन बॉडी इज प्रेजेंट इन, मालपीजियन बॉडी that consists of glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. Obviously, it is present in kidneys. ठीक है, without any liked Pujita, thanks. So correct option was B without any exception. कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन था. कौन से क्वेश्चन पे आ गए? 36 क्वेश्चन पे आ गए हैं. टोटल 50 क्वेश्चन हम लोग आज डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. चलिए देखते हैं क्या है ये क्वेश्चन. Excretion is continuous process, but urine is not passed out continuously because of excretion. Continuously your kidneys are filtering blood and filtrate is being formed, reabsorption भी हो रहा है, but it is not released out because we have urinary bladder in which the urine is stored, right? So correct option here was A, urinary bladder. बहुत सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है. चलो, अच्छा 2 लाइक दे दोगे? ओके, थैंक्स डब्लू. 37 क्वेश्चन. ईच coxal bone is formed by the fusion of 3 bones, ilium, ischium and pubis. Myosin and actin are proteins present in the muscles. Joints have been classified into 3 major functional forms. पे ध्यान दो. फाइब्रस, कार्टिलेजिनस एंड साइनोवियल. तीनों स्टेटमेंट पढ़ो और बताओ व्हाट विल बी द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. बोथ 1 and 2 स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट, ऑल स्टेटमेंट्स आर इनकरेक्ट, ओनली 1 स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट और ओनली 2 स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. फटाफट बता दो क्या होगा करेक्ट ऑप्शन. लेट्स रीड इट वन बाय वन. ईच coxal bone is formed by fusion of 3 bones, ilium, ischium and pubis. Absolutely correct. Myosin and actin are proteins. Yes, contractile proteins which is present in muscles. These are contractile proteins in muscles. Joints have been classified into 3 major functional forms. No, these are not functional forms. Thanks W. These are not functional forms. Functional form will be immovable. I will write it down. Immovable, slightly movable, and freely movable. Right? So functional form will be immovable, slightly movable and freely movable joint. Immovable joint is obviously fibrous joint. Slightly movable joint will be cartilaginous joint and freely movable joint will be synovial joint, but functionally it will be immovable, slightly movable and freely movable. So this is not true. Thanks W. Now both 1 and 2 statements are correct. Yes, this will be the correct option. A hoga correct option. Very good. Okay everyone, please don't forget to like the session everyone. Okay, so yes, correct option was A. Next question on your screen. This is going to be your 38th question. Again 2 statements. जहाँ भी ये statement wise questions है या match the following questions है वो अपने आप में 3 to 4 questions है आप सभी के लिए. Remember that. Malleus is anvil shaped and smallest bone in the body. Correct है क्या? Fovea present in the retina is densely packed with rod cells and cone cells. Again correct है क्या? Let's understand. Malleus is anvil shaped, yes, but the smallest bone in the body will be stapes, which is stirrup shaped. Stapes होगा ना, which is stirrup shaped. So this is wrong. Fovea present in the retina. Yes, fovea is present in the retina and it is densely packed with rod cells and cone cells. No, it is packed with cone cells only. Only cones. Okay, so this is also wrong. So क्या होगा? Correct option. Both are incorrect. Both are incorrect. A. Do you have any doubt? Malleus is a hammer shaped. Malleus is a hammer shaped, right? Ear ossicle, and the smallest is stapes, which is stirrup shaped. So this is wrong. Second statement था fovea is present in retina. Yes, retina का वो part जहाँ पर बहुत ज़्यादा cones accumulated हैं, जहाँ पे सबसे अच्छा sharp image बनता है, that is known as fovea. Fovea centralis, macula lutea, right? उसमें सिर्फ कोन्स होते हैं, रॉड्स नहीं होता है. सो करेक्ट ऑप्शन हियर विल बी ए. एनी कंफ्यूजन डियर स्टूडेंट्स? एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर? ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन 39th. ऑल द इनवॉलेंट्री एक्शंस आर कंट्रोल्ड बाय. यू हैव 4 ऑप्शंस: हाइपोथैलेमस, सेरिब्रम, सेरिबेलम एंड मेडुला ऑब्लोंगेटा. दिस इज अ प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन, बहुत बार पूछा गया है ये एग्जाम में. ओके, so all the involuntary actions are controlled by medulla oblongata. All the involuntary functions are controlled by medulla oblongata. Is it correct, everyone? Okay, any confusion? Hypothalamus is responsible for regulation of your temperature, right? Correct option was मेड्यूला ऑब्लोंगेटा. चलो बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन है. 4 स्टेटमेंट, कितने स्टेटमेंट है? 4 स्टेटमेंट है. पढ़ते हैं और फिर आपको बताना है विच इज ट्रू एंड विच इज फॉल्स. जोना पेल्यूसिडा इज द आउटर मोस्ट लेयर ऑफ द एग. हाँ. सेकेंड, कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम प्रोड्यूसेस लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ LH ड्यूरिंग फॉलिकुलर फेज ऑफ मेंस्ट्रुएशन. एक एक करके हम समझते हैं ये सारे स्टेटमेंट्स. जोना पेल्यूसिडा इज नॉट द आउटर मोस्ट लेयर ऑफ द एग. So which is the outermost layer of your egg? Corona radiata. Write it down. Corona radiata, which is actually follicular elongated cells. Next, corpus luteum produces large amount of LH during follicular phase. No, corpus luteum produces large amount of progesterone. During luteal phase, right? LH is released from anterior pituitary, right? Follicle stimulating hormone stimulates the development of follicle in the ovary. Yes, that is right. During luteal phase, the amount of follicle stimulating hormone increases many times. No. So can you tell me the correct option from here? 1 and 2 are false, only third is correct and the 4th is again false. So correct option will be C. Rishi, W, Pujita. Yes, correct option will be C. We have seen why. Okay. Next question. Select the true and false. Again, 4 lines we have. Let's understand these 4 statements. Relaxin hormone is secreted from the anterior pituitary gland. Anterior pituitary gland से relaxin secrete होता है क्या? No. No. From anterior pituitary gland, what all hormones are released? Let's write it down. Let's write it down. From anterior pituitary gland, कौन कौन से हार्मोन निकलेंगे? ग्रोथ हार्मोन, FSH, LH, प्रोलैक्टिन, थायराइड स्टिमुलेटिंग हार्मोन, एड्रीनो कॉर्टिकोट्रॉफिक हार्मोन कितने हो गए? 6 hormones. Okay, and also our intermediate lobe in humans is again fused to anterior pituitary gland. That's why और कौन सा हार्मोन निकलेगा? मेलेनोसाइट stimulating hormone is also released from our anterior pituitary. So these 7 hormones are released from our anterior pituitary. इसमें कहीं भी relaxin का नाम है क्या? No. No, right? Next question. High concentration of progesterone and estrogen inhibits ovulation in females. Absolutely correct. That's why in birth control pills, okay, there are 2 types of pills, right? Combined pills and mini pills. So in combined pills there is estrogen and progesterone. In mini pills there is only progesterone. So yes, it inhibits ovulation. That is right. Antrum is the cavity of the primary follicle. No. Antrum is not present in primary follicle. It starts from tertiary follicle onwards. Right? 41 का B नहीं होगा तो चले देखते हैं. Ovulation is the process of releasing an egg from the ovary. That is right. But मैं बोलती हूँ कि correct line क्या होगा? Correct line should be secondary oocyte instead of egg. But still it is fine. So let's see क्या होगा? Correct option is B. False, true, false, true, false, true, false, true. Okay, neat मत छोड़ना. Correct option is B. Okay. Next question on the screen. Select true and false. Again 4 statements, true and false आपको बताना है. Hepatitis B is caused by a bacteria. No, it is a viral disease. So this statement is false. Genital herpes is a sexually transmitted disease and caused by virus. Absolutely true. Vasectomy and tubectomy are the sterilization method. Absolutely correct. Yes. Okay. And cervical caps are reusable. This is also true. Right. So अब बता दो false, true, true, true. कहाँ है ये false? True, true, true. Correct option is D. Very good पूजिता. W ऋषि, हाँ बिल्कुल एक सीट आपका हो गया. ठीक है. So correct option is D. How many of the statements are correct? 4 statements फिर से. MTP was legalized in India in 1971. Line of NCERT, tell me yes or no, this is correct statement or not. Family planning was initiated in 1940. Important lines from the chapter Reproductive Health. Boyers and Cohen synthesized first rDNA in 1989. And insulin and thyroxine are hyperglycemic hormone. Okay? No. So MTP was legalized in India in 1971. This is absolutely correct. This is true. Okay? So this is only true. बाकी का पढ़ते हैं. Family planning was initiated in 1940. No, this is false. Boyer and Cohen synthesized first rDNA. False. Insulin and thyroxine are hyperglycemic hormones. No. Hyperglycemic hormone कौन सा है? It is glucagon, right? Which is antagonist to insulin, right? So correct option here is D. Only one is correct. Simple statement. ठीक है? Next question. Again 2 statements for you guys. First statement. Genital herpes and sickle cell anemia is a genetic disorder. No. Sickle cell anemia is a genetic disorder but not genital herpes. This is a viral disease. Second. AIDS, genital warts and hepatitis are caused by bacteria. No. AIDS is caused by HIV virus, which is a virus. Genital warts are caused by HPV, that is human papilloma virus, and hepatitis is caused by hepatitis A, B, C virus, right? So all these are viral diseases and not bacterial. So this is also false, this is also false. Both the statements are incorrect. Correct option will be B. Isn't it? Very good. W, Pujita, Rishi, very nice. Please don't forget to like and share this session with your friends. Correct option is question के लिए is B. Next question on your screen. Jurassic period of the Mesozoic era is characterized by. जुरासिक पीरियड में क्या हुआ था? दिस पीरियड वॉज डोमिनेटेड बाय डायनासोर्स. यस, एग्री. बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स एंड फर्स्ट डायनासोर अपीयर? नो. This era was this period was dominated by dinosaurs. Gymnosperms are dominant plant and first birds appear. This is correct. In the Jurassic period of the Mesozoic era, together with dinosaurs, gymnosperms also flourished and first birds also appeared. Okay, please mark this if there is any confusion. If you were not able to recall this, please note it down. Radiation of reptiles and origin of mammals like reptiles? No. Dinosaurs became extinct and angiosperms appeared? No. This is a previous year questions and correct option was B. Okay, correct option is B. Next question, देखते हैं कौन इसका जवाब सही देगा. In humans, female, the blastocyst stage. This stage is implanted. कब होता है implantation? After 7th day of fertilization. So after 7th day of fertilization, there is implantation of blastocyst. Let's write it down. Okay. 7th day after fertilization, there is implantation. And the implantation is of blastula or the blastocyst stage. It forms placenta even before implantation? No. The trophoblast layer of the blastocyst will form placenta, but after 7th day, after implantation, right? So this is wrong. Get implanted in the uterus 3 days after ovulation. 7th day after fertilization. Right? Gets nutrition from uterine endometrium secretion only after implantation? No. The trophoblast layer is there, na? The trophoblast layer will give nutrition. Understand, Rishi? The trophoblast layer of blastocyst. Blastocyst structure will look like this. The cells will be arranged in the periphery together with some cells in the corner, which are known as the inner cell mass. So these are the inner cell mass, right? This is the trophoblast layer. Let's write it down. Okay, this is the trophoblast layer. This trophoblast layer is very important, dear students, right? Now this trophoblast layer will form nourishment, will give nourishment to the inner cell mass that will develop into embryo, right? This trophoblast layer also secrete HCG. It is also a sticky layer that helps in implantation, and in future it also forms placenta. So this trophoblast layer is very important. Shall we write it down? Every important function of trophoblast layer लिख लेते हैं. Okay, so this trophoblast layer will provide nourishment, help in implantation. लिख लो सभी बच्चे. It will provide nourishment, it will help in implantation. Okay, it will also secrete human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG, and this hormone is detected at the time of pregnancy test, isn't it? It also forms placenta later. Fine. And what is the function of inner cell mass? It will form the embryo that will develop into fetus. Okay, so please write it down. D option था, gets implanted in endometrium by the trophoblast cell. This is absolutely correct. So इस क्वेश्चन का कौन सा आंसर होगा? D. 17 जुलाई तक ऐसे ही चलेगा क्या? हाँ, yes. 17 जुलाई तक ऐसा है, और वन शॉट भी लेके आएंगे W, don't worry. I will also bring one shot lectures for you guys हैंड रिटन नोट्स मैं लेके आऊंगी, माइंड मैप्स आई विल ब्रिंग, ओके, फ्लो चार्ट्स आई विल ब्रिंग, दैट विल हेल्प यू टू रिवाइज एवरीथिंग क्विकली. करेक्ट ऑप्शन हियर वाज डी. एनी कंफ्यूजन? ऋषि, पूजिता, डब्लू, एनीवन? चलो, let's move on to our next question. Secretions from which of the following are rich in fructose, calcium and some of the enzymes? Fructose, calcium and enzymes. Obviously male accessory gland. In human body, fructose is released only in semen. So yes, only male reproductive gland will secrete the secretion which is rich in fructose. No, not salivary gland, no pancreas, not liver. Okay, please keep this in mind. Seminal plasma in human is rich in. They are talking about seminal plasma released from seminal vesicle. Fructose, calcium but no enzyme. Glucose, glucose तो होगा नहीं. Not glucose. Fructose, certain enzymes but poor in calcium. No. Fructose, calcium and certain enzymes. Yes, correct option will be D. Fructose भी होगा, calcium भी होगा, enzymes भी होगा. यहाँ पे no enzymes लिखा था, that's why it is also wrong. अभी डिस्कस किया, so the correct option here will be D. चलो, second last question of today's session. Mainly, which type of hormones control the menstrual cycle in human beings? So menstrual cycle is controlled by FSH and LH. Can you recall that for ovulation, LH surge is required. LH hormone should increase in concentration. FSH hormone also should increase in concentration. Estrogen, which is a previous year question, should also increase in concentration, and then only ovulation can occur. Ovulation is release of secondary oocyte, right? So correct option यहाँ पर क्या होगा? सिर्फ FSH, सिर्फ LH या सिर्फ प्रोजेस्टेरॉन या FSH, LH and estrogen? Yes, you are right. All of you are right. Correct option will be C. FSH, LH, estrogen सब मिलके जो है रेगुलेट करेंगे आपका menstrual cycle. Okay, very good. Correct option here was C. Now the last question of today's session, and a very good question. देखते हैं क्या है last question. Which set is similar? Corpus luteum दिया है यहाँ पर. Corpus luteum is a structure which contains, corpus luteum contains lutein pigment, जिसके वजह से ये येलो नजर आता है, and it releases hormone progesterone. Now progesterone hormone is the one that will maintain the endometrium lining, that will maintain the endometrium lining, and because of decrease in the concentration of progesterone, the endometrium lining will shed, leading to menstruation, isn't it? So this was about progesterone. Graphene follicle also act as a temporary endocrine gland, and it releases estrogen. Okay, it releases estrogen hormone, right? And which is responsible for ovulation, which is responsible for the secondary sexual characteristics in females, right? So they both are acting as endocrine gland. अच्छा, एक और point याद रखना कि corpus luteum not only releases progesterone, it also releases small amount of estrogen. Please keep this in mind. Sebum and sweat glands. Sweat glands will release sweat, sebum will release oil. So this is different. Bundle of His is a pacemaker? No. Bundle of His is a nodal tissue, but pacemaker of heart is sinoatrial node, SA node. Vitamin B7 is niacin? No. Niacin is B6. So this is wrong. So correct option will be A. Correct option will be A. Understood? Any doubt, dear students? Any doubt? Please tell me in the chat. So we have discussed today the most important 50 questions. Very good. A is the correct option. Rishi, Pujita, W. Okay, so this was an amazing session. 50 important questions, must do questions we have discussed in today's class. ठीक है, सारे चैप्टर्स को कंबाइन करके हम इस तरह से क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस करेंगे एंड व्हेन यू विल ट्राई टू सॉल्व दीज क्वेश्चंस यू विल अंडरस्टैंड वेदर योर प्रिपरेशन इज गोइंग इन द राइट डायरेक्शन और नॉट. राइट, सो that was all for today, dear students. Please don't forget to join our Telegram channel. You will get the link in the description box, or you can just type Infinity Learn NEET, okay, and you will get our channel. Join our channel. You will get daily updates, notes, assignment and everything. Fine. Also, please don't forget to like and share this session. सब्सक्राइब कर दो Infinity Learn NEET चैनल को YouTube में, प्रेस कर दो बेल आइकन अगर आपने अभी तक प्रेस नहीं किया है तो. That was all, dear students. Goodbye. Take care. Again, I'll meet you with some amazing sessions like this. Bye bye. Take care. See you in the next class.